Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. On today's video, we're going to be talking about Marvel's Avengers and why Marvel's Avengers is a dead game. Marvel's Avengers was amongst the biggest disappointments of E3 in 2019 when they first unveiled, and it didn't do much better when it launched the following year. Now, receiving mixed reviews from both players and critics, the number of gamers quickly decreased significantly as they became bored and quit. Now, I'm going to go over my thoughts, and we're going to talk about the blog, but before I do, please make sure you share, like, and subscribe if you like this type of video. And we're here live Monday through Thursday in the mornings having conversations about different gaming topics. And we also do Let's Plays in the evening. So if you like this type of content, make sure you hit that share button, make sure you hit that like button, and hit that subscribe button while you're here. All right. Now, I played this before it launched and day one. I even got the 2 or 3 days early access for it, and there was problems right from the start, including a bug that you could not reach the last mission, not for everyone, but for a lot of people, to fight Modok, which was the final boss in the campaign mode, and I had to wait 14 days for a fix so I could finish the campaign. That was the first sign that this game had problems right from the start, especially when you launch a game and you couldn't even beat the single-player campaign because there was so many bugs. Now, there was also health bugs and all these other things that happened in the co-op. And gear wouldn't drop. Gear had the wrong names on it, the wrong stats on it. Guys were dropping through the floor. But after its problematic launch, Crystal Dynamics continued to produce new material, including a number of new characters, but it never recovered from her previous problems. Week after week, the War Table streams, they would say, "I didn't know," or "we'll look into it," or "we'll pass it along." And they showed us roadmaps that didn't come. And this whole project from top to bottom was a mess. The initial report that Marvel Avengers would be ceasing operations and moving to Amazon Games' Tomb Raider project came from the community insider Miller Ross. According to the story, Crystal Dynamics fired lead designer, and after a number of tweets that he did in 2014 were discovered in November, and the studio issued a public apology. Now, when contacted for a comment on the report, Crystal Dynamics gave a link to a blog, but made no other remarks about it. Now, according to that blog, the final update for future Marvel's Avengers support will discontinue on September 30th, after which digital purchase will no longer be available. All solo content will continue to be playable after support ends, and multiplayer will also remain available. Now, the Winter Soldier and the Cloning Labs Omega level threat were added in Update 2.7, which is the last piece of material that Crystal Dynamics intends to release for Avengers. Now, Spider-Man will continue to be a PlayStation-only title, and the final balance changes in Update 2.8, which is to be issued on March 31st. Afterwards, Crystal Dynamics said it will turn off the cosmetic marketplace and credits will no longer be purchasable, and all cosmetics will be made freely available. And the credit balance will be turned into an in-game resource. Now, I personally think this is a slap in the face for all of you that spent money. Now, you might not care. Now, I didn't really buy, I think I bought one cosmetic skin, and that was because I earned it inside the game. I think it was the Hulk skin, right? And that was it. Okay. I never purchased any of the skins. I did use the credits that we got from playing the actual game to buy the next character that came out, and that was the only money that I personally spent. But I think this is, I mean, obviously the game is shutting down, and now they're giving it away for everyone. And congratulations to everyone that didn't spend a cent, and now you get everything the same as someone that spent hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars, on all these skins that came out at $14 a pop for the last 2 years. Now, we know this is a disappointing news as everyone in the community has such a connection to the characters and their stories. Crystal Dynamics wrote on a website, "We're so grateful, and you came onto this adventure with us, and your excitement with Marvel's Avengers, from the epic photo shots to the threads idolizing where your next hero would be. The Twitch streamers has played a large part of bringing this game to life." Yeah, it was on live support from the very beginning, and everyone that was a live Twitch streamer, like myself, was showing this game and promoting this game, and yet it was just a farce, really. That's what it was. It also implies a significant amount of previous planned content won't be included in the game. According to the source, this entails a free roam mode on a sizable terrain, and also could be easily joined into progress games and accomplish tasks, a story arc, starring Ultron and a number of playable characters. Okay. This, to me, regardless if it was a leak or if it was real, the fact that they were so slow of doing this, they had no effort to get this out in any way, shape, or form. I believe that. Even with the developers that were in behind the scenes, they were also being fooled by the company itself, Crystal Dynamics. Okay. The source said that Shuri, Ironheart, Captain Marvel, and She-Hulk were included in this unpublished cast. Even voice lines were alluded to in each of these heroes' release, giving plausibility to their eventual participation. Now, Ross even revealed that She-Hulk would be attending the game, so she was brought up to multiple times until late 2021. Now, She-Hulk appears to have been permanently developed by outside team, but the game was shelved when Crystal Dynamics moved all the game from production under its own roof, despite having plans to do so. Crystal Dynamics allegedly abandoned their development. But still, leading everyone on, putting more cosmetics out. We'll talk about that in just a second. Now, Avengers has been on life support for some time in my eyes. And every time they seem to that they're going to make a change to the game for the better, they don't. And it gets worse. Now, from empty promises of getting a patrol mode, getting loadouts, that loadout blinking in the upper corner of your screen for over a year now, getting cloning labs, which they did give us cloning labs, but that's because it was an obligation. It was something that was already in the game from the very start, and they took it out because it was broke from the very start. From the very start, they had to, and we had to wait over 2 years to get something that was already in the game. Now, I don't care if you had fun playing the game. I also don't care how long you played it for. I, for one, played it for over 1,000 hours, and I did have fun playing it, right? Over 2.5 years. It was fun. It was fun to smash things with Hulk. It put a smile on my face. It still does. It was great flying around as Iron Man or kicking ass with Black Widow, right? All of these characters they had, and they were so good. The combat felt so good. But that was it. They built this whole game around combat and skins, and everything else they could care two craps about. But that does not overshadow how bad this development was before and well after, okay, it was out. I said from the very start, from the first time they said everything was free in the game as far as content, I was like, oh my god, the heroes and levels, I was like, this is not good for the game, okay? Because they didn't continue it, they didn't get enough money for it, and they couldn't support it, so they just abandoned it. And that's just it. Skins can't cover what they need to do. Story is content. Everything is content. Characters and skins are not content. But they made the game that was undercooked and didn't care for it after it came out. Because once they get your money up front, why fix it? Okay? Little bare minimum stuff. Why put story content in if you can make $14 per person per skin? And you think they're going to take that money and put it into story? No. They're going to take that money and go, you know what? Let's put that in our pockets and let's do another skin. Okay? Not fixing the game. We had enemies falling through the floor 2 years after. We had game crashes 2 years after.
That's Monica. I didn't realize that.
No! You've got to be kidding me! They put in new raid crashes.
If this was happening when we were doing the pillar section of the raid, okay, and now it's pitch black, we can't see, we can't die, we can't do anything. This is a massive glitch, Crystal Dynamics. If you don't fix this, this is dead in the water. Dead in the water. You have to fix this. We're an hour into the raid, okay, and this happens, and now the only option we have is to back out and restart. This is no bueno. No bueno.
No join in progress. They're going to put that in later. They had a loadout that they never put in. There was a patrol mode they never put in. Okay? We had them tell us things they were going to fix, and they weren't.
Oh, I thought they fixed that. Chad. Wasn't that in the patches? Oh, yeah. Check this out, guys. It's amazing. Game is not broken in any way, shape, or form. Woo! Check me out. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's so great. Game's not broke here, guys. Everything's fine. No need for a fix. Working as intended 1 year later. Yep. Fantastic. We can't complete the round because of this.
Now, I like to thank Miller, and I'm dead serious when I say this. The best part about this game, for the 2.5 years it was out, or just even before it was out, was reading the leaks and chatting with people in the stream what the game could be or where it was going to go. For some people, they say leaks ruin the game for them. But in my eyes, it gave us hope as fans when we watch a movie or a film or read a book. You want to know where the next book's going, and you talk to other people that have read the book or saw the movies. You have this camaraderie, right? You have this fandom that you start to go, oh man, it would be so cool if they did this. And yeah, sure, you get hyped up about it. But I look at it as fans, when you're watching these things, this is the greatest part of it. And it was sad because this game had so much potential and it was blown. Now, it was Crystal Dynamics that wrecked this game. The company taking an IP that is one of the largest in the world, if not the largest in the world, and they didn't care, right? I know, everyone's like, well, how do you know they didn't care? They didn't care. 2.5 years, they strung us along, okay? It was broke from the start, and they were chasing their mistakes the entire time. Now, this was a single-player game with co-op, okay? Turned into a multiplayer looter trying to sell you skins. In my opinion, if they focused on what makes a great game and not what will sell the most skins from the IP, if they made this game into a comic book game, selling you different stories for heroes that were already in the game, selling you DLC for new heroes, new DLC for story bits, still having the main storyline that could have been added for free content, right? But adding new heroes with their so-called like origin stories that you could have done into this world, so you wanted to expand your roster and the lore, you could do so. You weren't forced into buying all the heroes. They gave you 6 up front. If you wanted to buy, let's say they added Doctor Strange or Scarlet Witch or Hawkeye, whatever they wanted to do, they could charge you on top of that. And if you wanted to use those characters, then you purchase those characters, and they want to charge $14 for that. I'm all about that, okay? Because not every person is going to play every single character. It's a very small percentage to do all that. You know why DC Universe Online is still running 12 years later? Because they're always adding content, paid and free. Microtransactions across the board in that game, but every season they're adding something. You might not like the game, but I'll tell you what, it's been around for 12 years. How long has Marvel's Avengers been around for? 2.5, and it was broke from the start. Now, if they didn't rush Marvel's Avengers out the door before it was finished, I'm not blaming any individual devs here, but I'm blaming management that was in charge of this IP, and you had the golden goose, and you blew it. There were more players playing Spider-Man single player on PC than they're playing Marvel's Avengers game with 12 heroes right now. Let that sink in, okay? Spider-Man came out in 2018. Marvel's Avengers came out in 2020. It just came out for PC, okay? And I guarantee you there's more people playing Spider-Man or go back and play Spider-Man than there are people playing across the board on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC playing Marvel's Avengers right now, okay? People that play multiplayer hero games want to play as many heroes as possible. And if you have just a few, fine. But you better have a crap ton of named villains to fight then. Now, here's the blog that they put out the other day. Now, to our amazing community, after 2.5 years of introducing 12 of the Earth's mightiest heroes following update 2.8 on March 31st, we'll no longer add new content features for Marvel's Avengers, and the official support for the game will end on September 30th. Even after the official support ceases on September 30th, both single and multiplayer gameplay will continue to be available. See below for more information. Update 2.7, which added Winter Soldier hero and cloning labs, a mega-level threat, it was the last new content to be added to the game. Now, no new cosmetics are coming to Marketplace, and all the final balances updates will occur on Update 2.8 in March. Now, along with the end development, we're also turning off the cosmetic marketplace, they said. When Update 2.8 launches on March 31st, 2023, credits will no longer be purchasable, and all remaining credit balances will be converted into in-game resources to aid ongoing adventures here in the table, and resources that will be granted based on the existing credit balances. Now, as shown, our appreciation of our community, starting March 31st, 2023, will make all the in-game marketplace, challenge card, and shipment cosmetic content available to all players for free. Every single outfit, takedown, emote, nameplate from the marketplace, challenge cards, shipments will be free for all players from this date onward if you own a copy of the game. Right now, this is how scummy Crystal Dynamics is. And this is coming from a person that actually liked playing this game. This puts such a bad taste in my mouth that they're still keeping the marketplace up and running right now. As of right now, you can still purchase. They just put a $75 bundle in the game, okay? And now they're telling you that it's free. I get that for free. After March 31st, everyone gets it for free. Yet there's people that are still buying this game right now that might not even know this news, okay? And they're not closing the store down. They're closing the store down March 31st. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Crystal Dynamics, for trying to screw the few over that don't know that it's all going to be free after March 31st. Now, gifting for the full library marketplace cosmetic content is a way to thank our community by letting everyone experience the breadth of depth of content in Marvel's Avengers. Skins are not content. Skins are not content. We know this is disappointing news as everyone in the community has such a connection with these characters and these stories. And we're so grateful that they came to the adventure with us, and your excitement for Marvel's Avengers, from your own epic photo mode shots to your threads of theorizing for your next heroes who would be. As we play a large part in bringing this game to life, we hope you continue to play and enjoy Marvel's Avengers, and we can't thank you enough for support and being part of the super team, Marvel's Avengers development team. This put such a bad taste in my mouth. I had conversations, and if you've never been on my channel, I'm 30 and still gaming on my other channel. We used to stream this game all the time. We used to have conversations all the time about this. It's very disappointing that this game is taking the loss like it's doing, because as a person that likes Marvel, as a person that liked this game, it had a lot of things going good for it, but it had way more things going bad for it. There was a time I played it up until February of 2021. It came out in September of 2020, and February 2021 is when I saw the writing on the wall, and I started talking about it. But then there was leaks and there was rumors and stuff, and I said, you know what? It'll be supported for 3 years, and it is. Miller came out with it later and saying that it's not going to have any support past 2022, and into 2023 is the last year up to September. And that'll be it. That'll be turned off. You won't be able to buy it. You won't be able to do anything with it. It'll just be a game that you had fun with. And if you had fun with it, that's great. That's not the problem here. I think the problem here is going forward to, again, try to, I don't want to say trust a company, but to see these things with the writing on the wall, telling people don't buy the cosmetics because you will lose your stuff or it won't be worth it. And here it is. Here's the other shoe dropping here. It's sad that the company did what they did, and I think they could have done a better job overall telling us. Now, obviously, there's content creators that were insiders that know a lot more than I do, because I was never an insider. I just read the writing on the wall, stuff they didn't say or said, and I read between the lines. And I could see this, and I started separating myself little by little, and I still enjoyed the game and playing the game with the Hulk and Black Widow and Miss Marvel and Iron Man and Captain America and Thor. Each of my characters, I got up to 50, 150, and most of them were close to 175, but I never got them up to 175. I absolutely adored this game. I thought it was fun. It was fun when we played with our friends, but every time there would be a bug, a glitch, a man falling through the floor, or an adaptoid not going down, or you getting one tap. There was all of these things that were showing their face that it was just a bad game. But I didn't want to believe that because I was having fun. Now, you can have fun, like I said, but the overall sentiment of this game and the developer of Crystal Dynamics, they've lost me as a fan. As someone, the goodwill is gone. So when they come out with Tomb Raider, I love the Tomb Raider series, I'm going to kind of back off a bit. And I'm going to wait for other people to play the game and see how the cosmetics are going to go, and if they ever try to adapt or try to do another thing where they're doing a live service game with microtransactions, yeah, I'm going to be put off from them right now. Now, again, I like Crystal Dynamics, loved their games in the past, enjoyed myself with this game, but it's, after all is said and done, it doesn't look very good in my eyes. Each their own, my opinion, your opinion. Right? In my eyes, they've lost me as a customer. They lost me because they were shady. They were lost me, and they're still being shady, by not taking down the marketplace right now and leaving it up for other people to purchase money, trying to get that money right at the very last second, even though they know it's going to be free. Trying to push the IP because they know it was Marvel, and it's going to make a ton of money, and not actually try to put a game out from the very start. Now, if they started strong, I think everything else would have been fine. But because it was so broke from the beginning, and they were just dragging us along and kept us going, and I do appreciate, again, I really love that Miller and the community that speculated and put all the stuff out there. That was fun. And I wasn't close to any of these people, but I love speculating and all of this stuff and getting excited for what could have been. But needless to say, it didn't happen. Now, if you want to go look at the rest of the blog, and tells you questions and answers, you can go check their blog out, which, if their website's working, at the time of recording this, it wasn't working. So, and for this reason, Marvel's Avengers, dead game. There's no reason to play it. There's no reason to pick it up. There's no reason to buy anything from it. Stop now. Don't worry about September 30th. Marvel's is dead. If you like these type of videos, please make sure you share, like, and subscribe. And as always, I do appreciate you very much. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.